Welcome. In this bookkeeping video, we will learn ways you can create a simple financial system for your childcare business. The information contained here has been prepared by Civitas Strategies, Early Start, and is not intended to constitute legal, tax, or financial advice. The Civitas Strategies Early Start team has used reasonable efforts in collecting, preparing, and providing this information, but does not guarantee its accuracy, completeness, adequacy, or currency. The publication and distribution of this information is not intended to create, and receipt does not constitute, an attorney-client relationship. Reproduction of this information is expressly prohibited. During today's conversation, we will review certain topics. How do I account for funds coming in and going out? How do I record my transactions? And lastly, how do I get started on basic bookkeeping? At the heart of any successful business, from the one-person operation to a Fortune 500 company, is a financial accounting system. These systems are critical because first and foremost, they let you know where your money is, where it's going, and how much you're making. Having this information readily available will allow you to start doing things like paying yourself without putting your company at risk, managing your cash flow so that you always have enough money to pay your bills, and knowing when it's time to grow and how to do so. It's understandable that for many childcare businesses, even these first steps of getting on the path to creating a financial system seems daunting. This conversation will walk you through the basics of developing a system, which really consists of just two big steps. First, opening a business bank account, and secondly, our topic today, adopting a bookkeeping system. Once you have your business bank account in hand, you can start to think about a basic system for bookkeeping. Bookkeeping is very important because it is going to help you understand where your money is coming from as it flows into your business, so that's how you track revenues. It allows you to see where it's going, that's monitoring expenses, and how much profit you're making, that's managing your cash flow. Profit is just a fancy way of saying how much money is left after you pay all your bills. There are 3 steps to developing a bookkeeping system. Step 1 is to determine how you will account for funds going in and coming out. Step 2 is to determine how you will record your transactions. Step 3 is to set a schedule to review and record your transactions. Step 1. Adopt the accrual method of accounting. There are 2 basic methods in accounting. One is an accrual method, and the other is the cash method. PHL Pre-K requires that home-based childcare providers use the accrual method. Accrual accounting is based on when an expense or revenue is taken on or accrued. When using the accrual method, you will record the expense at the time you make the purchase, and the amount owed would be subtracted from your assets, versus when you actually pay the bill, such as paying a credit card statement. The same would be the case when issuing an invoice to a family for tuition. You will record the payment when the invoice is issued, not when the parent pays the invoice. By using the accrual method, you allow for expenses and revenue to be recorded during the same accounting period, which gives you an accurate picture of your business financial health. An example would be if you invoiced the city for $35,000. Under the accrual method, the $35,000 is considered income at that time, not when the city releases the $35,000 payment. Step 2 is how you will record your transactions. Now that you've determined you will be using the accrual method of accounting, you will need to have a system in place for recording all of your revenue and expenses. Many small childcare businesses will do well recording their revenue and expenses at the time they occur, by either using a simple written method, or by creating a spreadsheet with either Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets. If you have accounting software, that will also work very well to record your revenue and expenses as they are incurred. You will want to set up simple categories. Start first with listing all of your revenue categories, that is, all of the ways you receive income. One of the main revenue categories you will have is for tuition paid by parents and families. Another category could be the payments you receive through childcare subsidy. You will want to record any funds you receive from the food program, or perhaps there are additional fees you receive for after-school activities you provide. Do not forget to include any grant funds you have received. You will want to carefully consider all of the categories from which you receive income and be sure to record them. Continuing with step 2, you will want to record all of your expenses when the bills arrive, not when they are actually paid. This may include items like payroll, cleaning, rent, repairs, and supplies. You may have other expense categories, but keep in mind that you do not need to include every category that might someday exist. Focus on the categories you have right now, as you can always add categories in the future. You can see the simple and easy way that expense categories are listed on the slide. You can use a simple format like this to help you record and track your monthly revenue. A simple header of what revenue did I receive, and you'll be able to place the date, the description of what you were paid for, and the amount you received in the category that you were placing it under. Similarly, you can use this simple format to track your monthly expenses. Header of what did I pay for, along with the dates, the descriptions of what was paid for, the amounts paid, and the categories that those expenses fall under. Next is step 3, making sure to schedule a set time to review your transactions. Since you use the accrual method of accounting, you will have been recording all of your revenue and expenses as they are incurred, such as when invoices are issued and when bills are received. It is important that you review those transactions at regular intervals to determine if your accounting is correct. Schedule a set time, either weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, when you will reconcile your recorded revenue and expenses with invoices, receipts, and bills received. If when reviewing your transactions, you find that something has been missed, make adjustments as needed. Once reconciliation has been completed, determine your profit, and then make informed business decisions based on the health of your business. There are some important tips that can help you have the most efficient bookkeeping system possible. You will want to make sure that after you've determined what category a receipt belongs in, that you also label each receipt with that category. Doing so will help you continue to keep your system organized. A second important tip is to stick to a regular schedule to address your bookkeeping. You can decide what works best for you, whether it's monthly, bi-weekly, or weekly. Make sure to set aside this time in your calendar as a reminder. Tip 3 is to consider some type of electronic system to help you stay organized and on track. This could be as simple as a basic spreadsheet, or there are many easy-to-use online systems. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you need further assistance from the Spark Quality Support Center, please email info@sparkphillyprec.com.